everybody, so it is Monday evening again. Welcome to another week of meals on the family SeeSaw. It's our last week of meals before holiday, so we'll be eating at home Monday through Thursday, and then we'll be switching to a holiday video. So it'll be a short meals of the week for this week. Now tonight, again, I'm off work this week, so enjoying a bit of extra time off with Caleb, trying to do some kind of house cleaning tasks that don't get done during the normal busy hub and bub of daily life. Cleaned out the pantry this afternoon, which felt like a huge achievement. Amazing what stuff you accumulate in your pantry, like 3 different open boxes of lasagna sheets and 2 different open packets of penne pasta and things like that. So had a good old sort out. It looks lovely and organised now, and it will stay that way for a few weeks at least. So but tonight for dinner we've got something, a bit of a variation on a theme again. So it's a cottage pie, but with a broccoli mash topping. So in the base I've just got some mince, which I've cooked up with a diced onion, can of chopped tomatoes, some Worcestershire sauce, a crumbled up stock cube, some garlic granules, and a few mixed herbs. And so that was it. Very basic kind of meat sauce mixture. I've put it into these little individual serving dishes for me and Caleb, and that is a Tony size individual serving dish. As you can see, quite different to mine and Caleb's. Excuse the messy drips around the edges of the pots there. And then the topping is some potatoes I boiled, and then in the last few minutes of the potatoes being in the pan, I added a broccoli head cut up into florets and a couple of good handfuls of frozen peas. Let it all cook together for 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I've mashed it with some single cream and butter, and I've left it quite chunky, so you can see peas in there still, there's pieces of broccoli, but essentially just put it all over the top like you would a regular cottage pie. So there's the mash there. You could go smoother if you wanted to and mash it down further. If you've got kids that don't like vegetables, having green mash, you could make some kind of funky thing out of that as to what the green mash is, or Hulk food or whatever, and they probably wouldn't even notice they were eating broccoli and peas mixed in with their potato. So yeah, that's going to have a little bit of grated cheese sprinkled over the top, then into the oven about 180 for just 10 to 15 minutes. Everything's cooked, so it's just to give the chance for the cheese to melt on the top, and the potato to get a little bit firmer. And that's going to be dinner tonight. So I will show you them when they come out of the oven with the cheese melted on the top, but I just wanted to show you how we put these ones together. And so there are our little finished bubbly hot broccoli and mash topped shepherd's pies. Hi everybody, so it's Tuesday evening, and tonight we've got something called Fingerlickin Chicken, which is just a variation on sticky chicken. There's so many different recipes out there for sticky chicken, and this is one of them. So I just cut up some chicken thigh fillets into small pieces, put them in a bowl with probably about a tablespoon of corn flour, and then I made a sauce with 85 grams of honey, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. And just, sorry for wobbly video camera there, and just whisk that all together. I put about half of it in with the chicken and just mixed it so the chicken was fully coated in both the corn flour and the sauce. Then I put that into a skillet on a reasonably high heat, cooked it for about 5 minutes until the chicken was cooked through. Took chicken out of the pan and added in some sliced green beans and some matchstick carrots, and a little bit of oil, because obviously there was no oil in the pan to cook the chicken because there was oil on the coating. So a little bit of oil to cook those through. Cooked those for about 5 minutes until they just started to soften. Added the chicken back in. Added a couple of chopped spring onions, a handful of sesame seeds, and the rest of the sauce, and just combined that all together. And we're just having that with white rice. So that's Caleb's little bowl, and that is mine. It's tasty. It's got all the Chinesey sort of flavours. And again, you could use whatever vegetables you wanted for this. We've just got green beans, carrots and spring onions. So a stir fry for a Tuesday night. Hi everybody, so for Wednesday night we've got pot roasted chicken with noodles and vegetables. So this was a whole chicken that I just, in my large oven-proof, flame-proof casserole, I just melted a little bit of butter and oil and then just seared the chicken on both sides for about 3 or 4 minutes each side, just to get the crispiness going on the skin. Then I put it in the oven and cooked it normally for about, as normal, for about an hour and a half, but about every 20 minutes I just poured over about 50 mils of white wine and then basted the chicken, so it just creates a bit of more flavour through the chicken. And then I've just done some straight to wok noodles and a package of frozen stir-fry veg. So that is Caleb's. He'll have some ketchup with his. Now on mine, I also had some mushrooms I needed to use up and a little bit of creme fraiche. And so I've just made a basic little mushroom sauce. It's flour and butter, some milk, some creme fraiche to thicken it. So I only used a tablespoon each of flour and butter. So you don't get a very thick sauce when you're adding the milk in, but then when you add the creme fraiche, it thickens it right up. Then added a tablespoon of mustard, half and half of whole grain mustard and the Dijon honey mustard. Added a little splash of brandy to it, and then added some chopped tarragon and some button mushrooms that I just sautéed through in a pan. So it's a bit soupy, it's a bit thinner than I would normally do a sauce for something like this. But it just used up, as we're going away at the end of the week, it just used up some of the things I had in the house. So I've got the chicken with the mushroom sauce and the same stir-fry veg and noodles. Hi everybody, so it's Thursday evening, and for our pre-holiday dinner we're using a recipe that we got from the Folger family, a channel that we follow here on YouTube. I will provide a link to the recipe that Vicky Folger did for this down below. It's her recipe, so I won't steal her thunder. But essentially it's a really simple base recipe. You've got some sliced potatoes which you just boil for about 7 or 8 minutes until they just start to go a little bit tender. You don't want them falling apart. Drain them, let them cool. Then cook some meat and vegetables in a pan. I've got sausage and bacon and onion, which is what her recipe had, but you could, as I was cooking this, I was thinking of all the varieties of this you could make. Chicken and bacon would be good, chicken and mushroom would be good, almost a vegetarian version with mushrooms, peppers, onions, that sort of thing would be good. Pieces of gammon or thick cut ham, with or without mushroom, would be good. So really there are a variety of ways you can do it. So you cook your meat until it's just about cooked through. And then you make a really simple sauce. Now this was the revelation to me on this recipe. I've never thought of making a sauce like this, but it is absolutely delicious. It's 300 mils of chicken stock and a small carton, I think it's like 200 grams of cream cheese. And just melt the cream cheese into the chicken stock in a saucepan, and it makes this delicious, slightly cheesy, creamy sauce. You don't have to worry if there's little bits of lumps in it, because when you then put it in the oven, it's cheese, so the cheese is just going to melt down, and it really is surprisingly good. With the bacon and sausage, I added a bit of garlic granules and some salt and pepper. No salt, just pepper. And then I added a bit of pepper also to the sauce. And then you just layer it up. So meat on the bottom, a layer of potatoes, a layer of sauce. Repeat that, and then put some grated cheese on the top. 25 minutes in the oven at about 190, and it comes out delicious. I'm really looking forward to trying this. So this is Caleb's with peas and corn. There's no easy way to, you can't make this look particularly good on a plate. It's one of those things that's quite difficult to make look attractive for photographs. So this is the pan, which looks slightly better. And you can see the layers in there of the potato, the sausage and bacon and onion, and then the sauce, which, some of the cheesy bits left behind, and then there's some sauce in the bottom there, which makes a little bit of like a gravy. Yeah, really good. You could have any kind of vegetables with this. You could have it with salad even. The sausages look a little bit anemic on there, but they are completely cooked through and they were quite browned. Isn't it funny how the light on the camera can make things look overcooked or undercooked? I guarantee those sausages there do not look in real life anywhere near as pale and undercooked as they look on the plate through the camera. So anyway, we're off to enjoy this. This is our last meal for this week, so I will post this set of meals of the week before we head off for holiday. We'll then be doing a daily vlog from our holiday, and we'll include what we eat. We've got the food package included in our holiday, so we will include that, and then we'll pick up another meals of the week from home on the Saturday when we get back. So we'll have an extended one to cover Saturday, Sunday, and then through to the next Sunday. So we're looking forward to our holiday. Thank you for joining us for this week's meals, and we'll see you back on the SeeSaw soon.